Okay, part 4, talking about grading, we're 1,000 points. So that's on page 3, which you don't really know that on here, but just page 3 of the syllabus. You can download it, print it out, and each week will tell you how many points are in each week. So 1,000 points is what you're going for. Don't worry about all these weird percentages. I'll show you what I'm talking about at the end of your grading. It's going to show you, if you go to show all details, if I look at this, I'm a pretend test student here. If I go down here and it tells me all these weird percentages of like exams, quizzes, homework, assignments, don't worry about any of that stuff. What you want to look at is how many points out of how many points. So I gave myself total credit for the whole semester to test out a few things. But at any rate, I have 1,000 points out of 1,000 points, so I have an A. 900 is also an A. So I just tested this out, so I made sure our total, because I changed some things, is 1,000. Okay, so I'm back on the syllabus, courses, and then if you look on here, courses, and then the next tab over is syllabus. That's where we are. Here's the voicemail message. This is the top. I'm Penny Hung Miller. Email. Email's the best way to get a hold of me. Okay, because you don't have a direct line to me that rings anywhere. It just goes to email. Okay, there's some information here about writing, which is repeated elsewhere, but just make sure you're on top of your due dates. Again, set your notifications. And then if you scroll down here, this is in a table. If you print it out, it's a little bit nicer laid out, but it gives you all the due dates, mostly Tuesdays. Okay, there are a few exceptions. All right. The reading and so on is not graded. PowerPoints are not graded. The syllabus quiz is the first thing you're going to do. That's 20 points. And also the introduction, which I'm not, oh, here it is. This introduction to course discussion. You want to do that right away to show that you really are in the class and you are active. Then you're going to have chapter 1 through 5 in the first week. It's a lot. You have a homework and a quiz. Except for chapter 2, you don't have a homework there. You have a color wheel down here, and that's a painting project. You have to make some art. So 205 points in the first week. Second week is 320 points. MLK Day is on Monday the 15th, so we don't have class. I will not email you back until Tuesday. Your assignments due here is a little bit of a lighter load in terms of chapters, but your points are kind of heavy because you have the midterm from the chapters 1 through 7. I know it's fast, but this is a 3-week course. There's not really any other way to do it. I give you more work to do at the end because it gives you more time. If you're somebody who uses their time wisely, you can be through this whole course pretty, within 2 weeks. The final won't open up until the 18th, but you can be really done on the 18th of January if you really push. Okay, so 320 points there. The midterm gets broken down into multiple choice and essays. There's 2 essays on the midterm, and there's 2 essays on the final. See, now down here you have 475 points for the last week. It's a lot. Chapters 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 are also kind of bigger chapters, and the projects are a little bit more heavy duty. You have a field trip, it says right here and right here, for chapter 11 and chapter 13, which are sculpture and architecture. Both of these can be done in downtown Palm Springs. You can, or actually, I should say also El Paseo area has some good places to go as well for sculpture. I had a lot of students submit the nighttime photos, and that was fine. So if you didn't plan ahead, you're still kind of covered because you can do some nighttime photos of any of the architecture or the sculpture, but you will have to probably do some driving. Okay, so factor that in. Course summaries down here. Now this is something that Canvas generates, and it gives you the due dates here. So you have due dates here and the times. What's broken down for different days is broken down that way. And remember, we also have our calendar. I'm going to scroll back up here. Calendar's here. You can click on it here. I believe I've not done it that way. But you can also, no, it's not going to go. So you can also click on the calendar there. Now we're all in January, and it's going to populate. Okay, give it a second, and you should see exactly what I'm seeing. I can't put these in order. They're a little bit scrambled. This does what it wants to do. So you'll see all this stuff due on these different dates. All right. Now I'm in student view, and the reason I'm in student view for the moment is because I wanted to show you grades, which I started to show you. I'm going to go back over here. So it'll give you here what you got. Like, this is a 40-point assignment, so you got 40 out of 40. Here's extra credit. I didn't put anything there, so this one has a 0 for extra credit. A 0 in extra credit is not a big deal because you it doesn't factor in, it doesn't, how do I say, average into your grades. I'm sorry. But remember, anything you got points there is going to calculate, it's going to be like 20 out of 0. So that's a bonus. Okay, now I'm going to leave student view because it's not really that great for me to show you. Oops. I mean, I can show you this because there's no grades in it. But this is what I look at for grades, and it tells me what's going on. Okay, so we can get there by going here, right? I could click that, or I could just click on this, or I could click on home. Okay, so we covered on how to get started. Then you're going to get into the assignments in here. So like when you go into, I looked at the discussion, that's a discussion. The symbols will be different. The syllabus quiz, a lot of people have questions about this. You have to download this PDF. The information is all here on how to do it. Okay, I am not going to walk you through it. You have to figure this out. That's part of the quiz. Okay.